Welcome to Maximize Your True Potential, Strategies for Success, hosted by Ken Kingstead. Part 3, Understanding Your True Potential, Fueling Your Business, the How and Why. This series will give you the edge to recognize and then achieve your goals through its philosophy of constant, never-ending improvement. Strategies that will become a fluid part of who you are. Maximize Your True Potential, Strategies for Success. Your first step to success, beyond your imagination.
Hi, welcome back. Again, I want to thank you for allowing me to come out and help you today in growing your business. One of the most important things I can't overemphasize is why are we doing what we're doing? I mean, I'm giving you all these different tools, and I'm giving you all these great ideas to implement, but why? I mean, you'll say to yourself right away, well, I want to make more money. I want to take care of my family better. Granted, that's a great reason. But listen, if we don't have a clear-cut, defined, written out reason for coming to work every day, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to maximize your time to the best it can be utilized. Listen, I think that a lot of times people look at life, they don't realize their true potential. In other words, take a look here once, everybody. If I showed you that on a graph, if I looked at your life today, and I said, here you are on a line. Down here is 0%, if there is such a thing, but up here is 100%. This is what we're going to call our true potential. Your true potential. What are you capable of? And somewhere on this line here are increments. And I think I challenge you, where are you in your life? Are you striving to reach your true potential? Are you making it happen? Just think about this next question. When's the last time you read a book? When's the last time you went to a seminar? When's the last time you sat down with your coach, your boss, your manager, and really asked him to help create some different skills for you to grow your business? I mean, are we striving towards our true potential? I mean, the question is, I don't know. Only you know the answer. You know, are you at 75% of what you're capable of doing? If you're selling 10 cars a month, is that the very best that you are? I'll tell you what, a lot of times, average people do average things because they compare themselves to everybody else. Above average, people don't compare themselves. They look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what am I capable of? What am I doing right now? How can I work more efficiently? What can I do? What book can I read? What seminar can I attend? What can I do to grow myself? And this is all fueled by your passion to be successful. I don't know anybody in life who's really reached any true level of success without some real passion. Whether it be the owner of your store, whether it be a pastor, of a large church, whether it be the CEO of Bill Gates at Microsoft. I mean, everyone who's successful that I know has passion to be the very best they can be. Who cares what everyone else is doing? Be the best that you can be. So I challenge you to look at, where are you in life? And my mission statement for life is to develop and empower people to reach their true potential. That's what motivates me in life. That's why I do what I do, is so you can see, have some insight of what you're truly capable of. And I believe that when this happens, when you have this passion and you come to terms with it, you'll have this huge potential inside of you that becomes alive. I believe that, like what Tony Robbins says, you have a giant, and you want to wake that giant up within inside of you. And until you wake that person up inside of you, you'll never reach the potential that you're made to do in life. That's just my belief, okay? So striving to 100% is what we need to be doing daily. And life's a journey. We all know that. But at least we're striving to be the best every day. When you lay down at the end of the day, do you say to yourself, man, it was a great day. I read 20 minutes today. I helped some people today. I had a great, relationship with my spouse or what have you. I mean, make the day count, striving towards your true potential in life. Okay? This making sense, everybody? Okay? So look at this here now. We want to talk about our why. What's our fuel? Here's the passion, because the passion is different for everybody, isn't it? Why do you do what you do? That's a strange question. Most of us would say, well, I need to make a living. I need to make some to pay my bills. I go to work every day because I need to pay my mortgage or send my rent check in, or I don't want to lose my home. Okay, well, the why is bigger than that. That's part of why you do what you do, but it's not the core, if you will. That's kind of like if you look at a bullseye. That's one of the outer rings. The inner ring, the bullseye in itself, is what I'm striving to find for you today. Okay, we want to get to the bullseye. The why is the fuel that gets you up. It motivates you. Listen, in life you do things to avoid pain. and gain a thing called pleasure. I mean, think about it once. Me as a child growing up, and I put my hand on the grill one time. Holy moly. I didn't know it was hot. Didn't have the association yet. I was probably 2 or 3 years old. But I still remember hitting my hand on that grill. I had a huge blister on my hand, giant. I had to go to the hospital. You know what? I never did that again. So, you know, holy cow, I was scared of the grill. I didn't want to go near the grill. Why? I had this huge association of pain around the grill, right? So we want to avoid pain. We want to gain pleasure in life. And every decision that we make in life, is to gain pleasure and avoid pain. Okay? So what gives you pleasure? I mean, why do you get up every day and why do you go to work? Why do you work as hard as you do? Why do we exchange all this time? Why do we go to work and put in all this effort, you know, for a paycheck? Why do we do all that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because most of us don't have a real why. They just go to work because mom and dad went to work, so we go to work as well. And we're just exchanging time for money. Does that make sense? But I'm telling you, that's not your true potential. I think that most people, from the age of 18 to age of 65, they don't have a mission for life. They just kind of go to work and they go through the motions. And they don't really maximize their time every day. You know what's an ironic number? 98% of Americans at the age of 65 have less than $3,500. I mean, how do you work 45 years? How do you put in all that time, right? And only end up with less than $3,500. I mean, it's scary, isn't it? And I'm not saying it's 10%. I'm telling you, 98%. This is a number I got from the Social Security Department. So if you don't believe me, just check it yourself. I mean, it's amazing. And you get there because you failed the plan. And if you fail the plan, what happens? You're going to fail. That's just the bottom line. Okay? So are people better than that? I think so. You know, but my dad happens to be a 98%er. He's 73 years old, you know, and guess what he gets every month from Uncle Sam, from his Social Security check? It's like $1,100. How many of us can live on $1,100? I can't. Can you? Now, is he a bad guy? No, my dad's great. He's involved in his church. He's involved in his community. He's an awesome guy. One of the most positive people that I know. But guess what? Financially, he's failed. He's failed. Why? Didn't plan. But the point is, though, is that, so once we identify our why, you know, we look at our how. How do we accomplish the why? Right? The how is the easy part. The tough part's figuring out the why. In other words, I'll give you an example of what my why is, just so you can kind of maybe relate a little bit to what I'm talking about. As a kid growing up, I mentioned a little bit ago, you know, we had a meager living. My dad didn't make a lot of money. My mom did spend a lot of money. And we ended up, you know, having family dinner every night and talking about one thing. You know, how are we going to pay the bills? What are we going to do this month, you know? We never went on vacation our whole life. Never had a vacation until I was like 21 when I moved out and had my own vacation, you know? We couldn't afford a vacation. All my friends went on vacation, but we didn't. Why? Well, because we didn't have the means to do that. As a kid growing up, I said to myself, my gosh, you know, I guess not having any money is painful. Because why is mom and dad fighting all the time about money, it seems? They come up day after day, week after week. And it kind of impacted my life. I said, you know what, I don't care what I have to do, as long as it's legal and honest. You know, I want to make a lot of money because I think that if you don't have it, you have a pain situation, okay? And that's kind of like fueled me my whole life. It's kind of chased me through my whole life, you know. So I worked hard, you know, to try to get ahead and build a future for myself and for my family. And my why today is that I look at my family. I don't want to have these arguments with my spouse about money. You know, I don't want to have my kid exposed to that environment. You know, I want to be able to give my kid the best. Isn't that dad's goal to always give their children more than they received? You know, I want my, you know, we live in a nice home on a golf course, okay? You know, big deal, right? But you know what? We didn't always live that way, but we worked our butts off, and I wanted to give my wife and my family a good place to live. You know, I want to live in the country. I don't want to live, you know, in the inner city where there's a ton of crime. I want to live out there in the country where there's low crime. Does that make sense? I want to be able to send my kid to a private school. I want to be able to have the means to be able to say, hey, you know what? My son's name's Grant. Grant, if he wants to go to college, to be able to help him. Not pay for the whole thing, because he's got to feel like he's got to be part of it too, right? But help him with that process. Is that making sense? So my focus is that we can look at that why, and that motivates me every day to get up and work and fly all over the country and do the things that I do, because it's important, I think, for my family. It's important to my spouse. Part of my why is allowing my wife to stay home. And I'm not saying, honey, you can't go to work. But, you know, if she wanted to go to work, you know, honey, go to work. But if she wants to stay home and raise our son, who's 3 years old, you know, guess what? I want to be able to provide the income so she can do that. You know, I think it's great that we can do that. All right, so but that burns inside of me. It makes me do the things that maybe a lot of us don't do. It pushes me. It gets me out of my comfort zone. You know what? I don't want to always get on an airplane and fly 12, 15 days away from my family a month. I don't want to do that. That hurts, okay? But the point is, though, is that I know that that's providing something for them. But then when I'm home, guess what? I'm really home. I'm with them all the time, and we share a lot, so it makes up. And if I'm gone a long time, you know what? We go together. We all go together. Does that make sense? But that's what motivates me. That's just my why. Okay? So what's your why? Your why may be this. You know, I want to pay my credit cards off. I want to buy a home maybe. I want to retire when I'm 55. I know that Social Security is not going to be there for me maybe. And heck, who wants to live on $1,100 like my dad and struggle? You know, not me, and I'm sure you don't either. So you begin to look at your life. Okay? It's got nothing to do with the car business. It's got everything to do with you and your life. You begin to look at your life and say, this is my goals, and I'm going to accomplish these things in life. And then how am I going to accomplish it? Well, then we look at our car business. Can you make a lot of money in the car business? It's probably one of the most lucrative business you can be in. You don't have to be educated. You can make more than a doctor or a lawyer can even make. And the point of the matter is this. Just coming to work with a plan and really executing on your plan every day will get you there. And when you're not feeling like going to work, or when you don't feel like making that phone call, or you don't feel like sending that letter out, or you don't feel like going out and taking that last customer of the day, does your why jump out in front of you, and does it fuel you to say, you know what, I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen? Does that make sense? And it's got to be crystal clear. If you want to retire when you're 55 and you need $1 million in your 401k or in your retirement, and you say you're 30 right now, how much does it take at maybe even a 10% rate of return to get to $1 million? So how many more cars does that mean for you per month to put that extra money aside? I'm talking about crystal clear planning on how to accomplish your why. Not just showing up and hoping and praying that you get there. Life goes by quick. Give an example of that. My grandmother, you know, heck, when I was 18 years old, I graduated, obviously. I made it, right, through high school. And after graduation, my grandmother says, Ken, come over here. I want to talk to you about some things about life. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, it's okay. You know, I'm 18 years old. She says, sit down on the couch. So we sit down on the couch, and she kind of sits up next to me, and she says, you know, Ken, you know, I want to tell you about my life. I want to tell you what I've experienced in my life. I'm 80 years old. I've seen a lot. And you're just getting into life as an 18-year-old kid. I want to give you some insight. So this is not mine. This is my grandma talking right now. This is wisdom from an 80-year-old woman, okay? And she says to me, you know, Ken, as a kid growing up in Milwaukee, because we're from Milwaukee, you know, as a kid growing up in Milwaukee, you know, our family, you know, our cousins and our relatives all lived within a couple blocks. It's not like it is today where everyone's spread out all over the United States. We all lived, you know, in a small little radius. And we played together as kids. Kicked the can, you know, and she went on to tell me about all the things they did as a child. And then as time went through, she said, as I got older and went into my 50s and 60s and 70s, I look back and reflect at my childhood. And I realize that, golly, all my friends that I grew up with, man, they've all passed away. And you know what? She realized she's only got a couple people left that were childhood friends. You know, one of her friends was just one of her close friends, and her other was her younger brother, Harold. And she's like, you know, I got two left that I grew up with. You know, and it dawned on me, I woke up, if you will. She says, you know, when I wake up today, man, I thank God that I'm alive. I really do. Because most of my friends aren't alive anymore. They're gone. You know, when I wake up, I'm like, thank God I'm alive. And then I get out of bed and I live my life, man. And she got binoculars on her back porch, and she's always looking at, you know, the rabbits, you know, and the birds. She got bird feeders all over the place. And she's watching these things, all these little critters in her backyard. She enjoys that, okay? She says, I live my life like it's the last day I'm ever going to be alive. Because, heck, at 80 years old, you don't know. I've already beaten the odds, she said. And I look at life from a very passionate, you know, standpoint. You know, I mean, she's reading every day, and she's showing me all these different things that she does to live. She said, but I want you to live your life like I live mine now as an 80-year-old, taking every moment in and appreciating it. Because you don't know either, you know, my gosh, if the next moment's going to be there for you either. And let's face it, you know, looking back, you know, every day people pass away. They don't think you're going to pass away. They tie their shoes every day. They get in their car. They go to work. Something happens, God knowing, and boom, it's all over. Right? You don't know that. Heck, we know it can happen to us. She said, live your day like it's the last you're ever going to live. But I want you to do me a favor, she says, Ken. I want you to look and have the vision to say to yourself, I'm going to live to be 100 years old, though. So live your life today like it's your last, but plan on living to be 100. That gives you balance in your life. Oh my gosh, I'm 36. She's 97 years old. She's living what she's told me now. It's amazing. And she's not like she's a feeble old lady. I mean, she still shovels the sidewalk. Okay? She still has a garden. And she's got rose bushes all over her property. I mean, she's involved. That's probably why she's 97 and she's still perfect health. She's like the only constant that I know of in my entire life. She looks the same even as she did when I was a little kid. It's amazing. So what's my point? My point is this. Live your life with vitality and make a difference. If you don't have a why, though, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to live your life that way. You'll be a zombie, kind of just going through the motions through life. And one day at 65, when you get your first check from Uncle Sam, you'll go, oh my gosh, I should have planned better. I better go get a job at Walmart. Greeting customers. Welcome to Walmart. Nothing wrong with that. But why is people always the elderly people doing that? They need to supplement their income. Or how about grandma at the cafe pouring you your coffee? Well, she needs to make a few extra tips. Granted, if they would have planned more, the guy at Walmart would probably be fishing or playing some golf. And grandma would probably be out playing with the grandchildren and so forth, if they had the option to do so. What's my point? Plan your life or plan to fail. Is that making sense? And again, I tell you what, it's really important that you understand that until you identify this, you're never going to accomplish this in terms of your success. Imagine, if you will, the why, again, being fuel, like gasoline to an engine. A nice new car, you put water in the tank, isn't going to take you very far. With high-octane fuel, what's it do? It takes you there efficiently and effectively. So when you come into work every day, don't come into work to wait. Make a difference in your life. Take control of it and make it happen. I hope this has been helpful to you, because I think that this isn't taught anywhere else really in terms of a real clean way of understanding of planning and getting ahead in terms of the fuel. So hey, listen, until next time, have a great day. If you need help, watch it again and again and again. Take care.